Hello, don Juan. ¿Cómo le fluye, parcero?
Muy bien, teacher.
Muchas vacaciones. Ah,
¿Sí?
usted no, yo le pregunto. Que si muchas vacaciones.
Ah, no, algo ocupado.
Ah, esos muchachos de hoy en día son ya unos empresarios. Ya no tienen tiempo de nada.
Pues sí,
Bueno,
eso parece.
está bien.
No, sí, he estado ocupado. Eh, Estuve desde el miércoles, después de las 6 de la mañana, organizándole la decoración para el cumpleaños de mi hermana, organizando la decoración de Navidad, porque es que como tenía mi casa patas arriba,
Ajá.
entonces no me he podido conectar.
Ah, bueno, men. Está
Pero
bien.
aquí estoy.
Está bien, veamos a ver qué sucede.
Hola,
Hello, good afternoon. Bueno, juventudes, esto se prendió. La Navidad está encendida. Así que vamos a darle. Señorita Daniela, vuelvas.
Hola, profe, mi
Hello.
hermana ya va a entrar. Se quedó dormida.
Se quedó dormida. Ah,
Sí, terrible.
terrible, ¿no? Yo creo que un buen baldado de agua le quedaría bien.
Uy, sí, espere, ya voy por el balde.
Bueno, va a esperar. Ese balde fue rápido. Qué rapidez.
Yes.
Demoré yo más en decirlo que ella en tirarle un baldado de agua a la hermana de él. Unbelievable. Juan, ¿ya conocías a tus dos compañeras?
No, teacher.
Ah, bueno. Le presento a estas dos chicas, Daniela y Esther, lo que no sé por qué motivos mantienen ya las cámaras apagadas. Estaban los más de juiciosas el primer
Yo
día.
es porque yo me acabo de levantar.
Estaban los más de juiciosas el primer día y bueno.
A mí en general no me gusta prender la cámara. El primer día fue para dar una buena impresión.
Y los otros días,
Ya no. Ya
borras
es
la
la
primera
impresión que quería.
impresión.
Ya.
O sea, adiós primera impresión.
Exacto.
Ah, muy triste. Bueno, las empresarias deben mantener su impresión todo el tiempo. Veamos qué tal les va con los empresarios entonces. Quiero que presten atención a este video que es bastante útil. Vamos a ver un poco sobre las prioridades que tenemos. A ver ustedes qué dicen con esto.
Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote, "If there were any one period in time one would desire to be born in, is it not the age of revolution, when old and new stand side by side and admit of being compared? When the energies of all men are searched by fear and by hope, and when the historic glories of the old can be compensated by the rich possibilities of the new era. This time, like all times, is a very good one, if we know what to do with it." If we know what to do with it. Which reminds me of a story that happened 17 and a half years ago for me. I lived in Sydney, Australia, and I just started a new job. And I was asked to go to a national sales meeting because I was the general manager of the operation. And I learned that the national sales meeting was actually on the date that my wife was due to have our child. So I was very concerned. I went home and told her about it. I said, look, first children are never born on their due date. So I'm going to be gone just one night, and I'm going to Cairns, Australia, and I'm going to be there for one night for this meeting. I got to give a speech, and I'm going to come back, and everything's going to be fine. And very likely, the doctor told us anyway that you're not going to have the baby for about 2 more weeks. So I went up there, and I was still negotiating the bonus plan for the year, so I was talking with my new boss, who was a Swiss gentleman named Rodo. And Roto had this very, very heavy, thick Swiss accent, and he always smoked cigarettes. And we're going through this tough negotiation, and right in the middle of the negotiation, at 11:45 at night, as we sat in the bar, the phone rings. And it's my wife. And I said, "Is everything okay?" She said, "I just had my water break." And I thought, oh no. I'm in Cairns, there's no way that I'm going to be able to get back down to Sydney in that amount of time, because the doctors always say it's about 4 hours to make it from the time the water breaks to the baby comes. So I went to my boss. I knew he had a plane. And I said, "Is there some way that you can fly me down to Sydney tonight? Because my wife's just gone into labor." And he said, well, he smoked a cigarette. "Give me 10 minutes. I'll prepare a flight plan and we will go." So I run back to my room. I take everything off my bed. I throw it in the suitcase. I remember I still have the remote control that actually went flying into my suitcase. And I ran downstairs. I'm standing by the elevator waiting for him. And about 20 minutes later, he finally leisurely walks out of the elevator. And he looks at me and he says, "Can you believe I lost the key to my airplane?" So we run, literally run. We get in a taxi. We go to the airport. And I learned then that the airport lights, this is at Port Douglas, turn on when you actually have a little radio button inside the plane. So you hit the button and all the lights turn on, and he says, "Okay, I need you to check the wing, I need you to check the oil, I need you to check the condensation." I'm like, I don't know anything about this stuff. Are you kidding me? So I was really afraid. And the people that work with me know that when I get afraid or stressed, my heart rate really drops. My blood pressure drops. I kind of have an opposite effect. And at all my companies, my management teams know this, and so when things get really rough and tough, because I kind of lead turnarounds, they usually buy me a pillow because I fall asleep. So we get in the plane, we take off, and I'm thinking, I gotta make it to the berth, I gotta make it to the berth, I gotta make it to the berth. And I completely fall asleep. And I'm in the cockpit. I'm the co-pilot. So we're up in the sky, all of a sudden we're bouncing around. I wake up and I look at the dashboard, and where everything had been well lit before, now it's completely black. And he says to me, "Robert, can you see the coastline?" And I said, "No, there's too many clouds." And he says, he's talking in this thing, it's really loud, it's a prop plane, it's a Piper Chieftain. And he says, "Are you sure you cannot see the coastline?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "To add to the drama of the situation, all of our navigation and instrumentation is inoperative. Can you see the coastline?" So they actually have to close down Sydney International Airport to find us. We had flown off course towards New Zealand. That's why he's asking about the coastline. We only had enough fuel to make it to Sydney. And now it was really, I got to make it to my daughter's birth. I got to make it to my daughter's birth. And now I'm thinking, I just got to make it. So finally, we come into Sydney, and we land the plane. I rush to the hospital. We land at 3:07, and it takes 30 minutes to get to Balcombe Hills Hospital, and I'm going as fast as I can. I make it there. I rush through the labor ward doors, and just as I run into the room where my wife was having our daughter, the doctor says, "He made it." The nurse says, "He made it." And I see my daughter's head just barely crowning, and 1 minute later, she was born. Now, of course, I got to hold her at that moment, and it was the most awe-inspiring moment of my entire life. And I remember thinking, this time is a very good one, but my thoughts are searched by fear and by hope. Will I be a great father? And those of us that have had children know this feeling. Will I be able to take on this responsibility? Will she be the daughter that I aspire her to be? Will I be that father to her as well? Very often we all get caught in moments of fear. And Alexander the Great once said, "Man's immortality is not living forever. Every moment free from fear makes man immortal. Man's immortality is not living forever because that desire is born of fear. Every moment free from fear makes man immortal. When you break yourself of fear, your thoughts go on forever. But how do you do it? Because all of us start to think in terms of scarcity. Some of us actually make it to terms of abundance. Harvard Business School asked their students when they were graduating, what would you rather have when you graduate for a salary? Scenario A, and all dollars are constant. Scenario A is you make $160,000 upon graduation, and the rest of the students in the cohort, on average, get $150,000. Scenario B is you make $200,000, and the rest of the students, on average, get $220,000. What do you think they chose? 87% chose A. Now, you would think these are some of the smartest kids in the world, right? You would think that they're brilliant, they're going to Harvard Business School, they learned about money, and yet they chose the lesser economics. Because they're more focused on having versus having not. They're more focused in terms of your win is my loss and vice versa, when actually abundance changes everything. Abundance comes from a place of confidence. Scarcity comes from a place of fear. Breaking yourself of that type of thinking will change your life and change your world. In life, we don't get what we deserve all the time. We get what we expect. Researchers went to a first grade class, and they tested all the students and did an IQ test. And in that IQ test, they asked everybody, and they told the teacher, you're not allowed to talk to the students about this. You're not allowed to tell the parents. We're going to observe you for a full year, and you have to sign a contract of confidentiality on who gets the highest scores. Of the 30 students tested, 5 got genius level, more than 140 IQ scores. 5 students. So for the course of the next year, they monitored the class. They monitored the teacher. And at the end of the year, they came back and tested all the students to see if there were any variations or differences in the outcomes. Who do you think got the 5 highest scores? The 5 genius students. No great surprise, except that that wasn't the true nature and subject of the research. The true subject of the research was that they lied to the teacher. None of the students the year before had actually been tested as gifted. Her expectation that those 5 students at a subconscious level, and she really did follow the rules, led those 5 students to get the highest scores. 2 ways to overcome fear. And these are from my personal experience in life, so this is not anything more than just philosophy of Robert. One is gratitude. I've found it impossible to be fearful and grateful at the same time. If I let my mind stop for a moment and feel gratitude, even in moments of despair and difficulty, it makes all the difference in my life. The next way to overcome fear that I've found personally is to be intentional in my decisions. Everything that happens to you in your life can either be the best thing that ever happened to you, or it could be the worst. It's about your perception of that. About 18 months ago, I had a terrible, humiliating experience in my life. I had left a wonderful job 2 years before, and I left because I was recruited by Warburg Pincus, a very large private equity fund, to become CEO of Bausch & Lomb Surgical. And the intent was to spin out that business and to take that as a separate business and really try to derive value from it. And it was a dog of a business at the time. It wasn't performing very well at all. During the course of the next year, we changed the metrics of the business. It succeeded. It did really well. After a year and a half, I was ready. Okay, the company's doing great. Our employee willingness to recommend scores are really high. All of our scores across customer willingness to recommend are really high. It's time. Well, because we started doing so well and forecasted great growth, the parent decided they weren't going to spin off the business and that they could derive greater value by selling it to one party. the entire company. My hopes were dashed. I was broken. That night, I flew home from New York City, very broken. I actually threw up on the airplane. And the next morning, I woke up, and I remember thinking, today can be the worst day of my life, or it can be the best. It's up to me. I decided it was going to be the best. Later that day, I had an idea to create the first Medicare opt-out company in all of healthcare. The first company that takes no money from the government. I didn't realize how big of an idea that could be. It's a year and a half later, and Friday, just yesterday, I toured the Bausch & Lomb building. Bausch & Lomb was just bought by Valeant for $9 billion. I toured the Bausch & Lomb building and made a bid on the property in 18 months. What can your mind do in 18 months if you free yourself from fear? Nelson Mandela spent 29 years in prison as a political prisoner, having done nothing wrong except express his ideology and philosophy. Every day while they made him chip stone, he remembered one poem by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloodied but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Each of us is the master of our own fates. We can overcome fear with gratitude. We can overcome fear with intentional choice. And our perception drives reality. In life, you don't get what you deserve always, but you almost always get what you expect. That moment where I held my daughter, I decided 17 and a half years ago that every day I would tell her I loved her, that she would be a beautiful woman, that she'd be the best daughter I could ever imagine. Her name's Matt. And that she would be smart and sophisticated and polite and kind and grounded. She's become exactly that. Life happens to us every day. We can decide what we will do with it. Let's all decide that we are the masters of our fate, that we are the captains of our own souls. Thank you.
All right. So, what do you think? What do you think about this? This video, this message? I want to hear you speak. Hello, Daniela, Esther, Juan. Daniela, Esther. Ok, voy a empezar a sacar gente aquí.
No, no. It's just, I don't really know what to say. I just understood that we are, ¿cómo se dice? Que nosotros guiamos nuestro propio destino. And that's it.
And that's it.
Yes, I don't really have too much to say about it. So
Never mind. Juan, what do you think?
Según lo que entendí fue que al comienzo dijo que hace 17 años él vivía en Sydney, Australia, con su pareja, a punto de tener a la hija. Y entonces él esa noche tenía un viaje ahí, y en ese preciso momento lo llamó la esposa diciendo que le había roto fuente.
Yeah.
Y entonces le pregunté a la jefa si había forma de que se regresara. Y le dijo que le diera 10 minutos. Y entonces sí, se regresó, vio el nacimiento de la hija. También comentó que hace 18 meses vivió una vergüenza de toda su vida, que era haciendo un trabajo maravilloso, pues, algo así fue lo que entendí. Y lo del mensaje que, que en la vida pues tenemos que ser tenemos que ser guardianes de nuestro destino, eh, aprovechar lo que se nos viene de aquí adelante, dentro de nuestro futuro, lo que vamos a lograr y, y, y también más sobre opciones de salarios de más de 100.000 y $220.000 a estudiantes de, pues, de estudiantes, y el 80% escogió la opción que era con $110.000 algo así.
Uh-huh.
Y ya, that's it.
That's it. All right. Esther, are you here?
Sí, profe, pero no sé qué decir.
Yes, I know you know.
No, no sé.
¿Por qué no? Why not?
Es que mi mamá me está hablando, entonces no entendí muy bien el video, pues no le presté mucha atención.
All right. No worries, Esther. Thank you.
Una disculpa.
No worries. That's crazy, man. All right. So let's do a short dictation. I'm going to start doing this dictation. So be ready. Esther Daniela, I hope you get focused on this. If not, don't worry. The first thing is you need to be in a good attitude to be here. If you don't feel like you are in good disposition, it's better not to be here. Okay, the title of the text is Life. Comienzo. I was reading my diary. I was reading my diary. Period. I wrote a lot I wrote a lot of important events which are valuable for me. Period. So, comma, when I read them, comma, I started crying. Period. I was very touched. I was very touched. Period. God willing, comma, I'm going to continue writing about myself. Period. Next month, I'm going to go to a foreign country. Period. For that reason, comma, I'm going to write about interesting experiences. Period. My life is a unique my life is a unique experience and I want everybody to know it. I want everybody to know it. Period. Each day is special for me. Period. Therefore, comma, I love living happily and I like sharing my happiness with my friends and my family. Period. I believe when people read my composition, comma, they will think about life's meaning. Period. Before, I was unaware of its meaning, but now, comma, I know that life is nice. Period. So, comma, everybody has to be generous with their friends. Period. And finished. So take a look on this dictation. Check your mistakes. ¿Cómo les fue con este dictation?
Me salió bastante bien, creo que nomás como una palabra que entendí mal, pero el resto bien.
All right, thank you. Juan, ¿cómo le fue?
Good teacher.
Good. Seems weird, but okay. Ah, shit. Okay, so now let's do this activity. Is in present perfect. So do you remember present perfect verbs? Yes? No?
I think so.
You think so? All right. So this activity is in present perfect. The thing is, you are going to complete the sentence using the auxiliary and the verb in participle, past participle. Remember the auxiliary. What is the auxiliary for present perfect?
Have, has.
Yes, have, has. So it depends of the person. It depends of who are we speaking. That you use have or you use has. If you have any questions, let me know. If you don't have questions, don't let me know. Chicos, ¿cómo van con la actividad?
Bien, creo.
Ok, se va a hacer largo esto así. ¿Listos para comenzar? Ok.
No, me faltan como dos frases.
Okay. Y Esther y Juan,
Pues creo que hay bastante bien.
no entendí nada de lo que me dijiste, Esther.
Que creo que hay bastante bien.
Okay. Boat. Inicia boat.
Gracias.
Welcome. Boat. Ok, ya finalizaron.
Yes.
Yo sí.
Ok, comencemos con la primera. ¿Cómo
They
establece?
had they had to leave London this month.
No, they have left.
Ah, ya.
All right. The number two. ¿Alguien tiene la number two?
He has uh, bring,
No.
brought
Bro. Yes.
a lot of English papers.
All right. Number three.
He had told me about it.
She has told me about it. Okay. Number four.
I have
I have.
I have get, getting got, got got a long letter from father this week.
All right. We have got the number five.
I poke
I
uh, I has spoke
con el B.
uh,
I
sí,
have been.
been to Radio City.
Yes. Number six.
I think the director had to leave the town.
No. Has left. Number eight.
I have painted my office.
Into my office. All right. Number nine.
We have known her since she arrived to our city.
You have known her. Yes. Number 10.
I had forgot your name.
I have forgotten.
Así lo escribí, pero olvidé cómo se pronunciaba forgotten. Así que
Yes. I have forgotten your name. 11.
He has closed the door.
Yes. Close the door. Okay. Number 12.
Uh, he has
done it.
Has done it since we left him. All right. 13.
I have give it Given.
Given. I have given.
He might has.
Okay. Number 14.
This order has led to many misunderstandings.
Has led. 15.
He had wrote his name on my book.
He has written his name on my book. 16.
She has bought both
Bought
a new umbrella.
a new umbrella. 17.
He has looked my exercise over and over.
All right. 18.
I have bought those with books very cheaply.
Very cheaply. Okay. 19.
He has worked for 2 months.
All right. He has worked for 2 months. And number 20.
She has found
He has found
a new job.
a new job. Ok. Presente perfecto siempre va a requerir de los verbos en pasado participio. Cuando son verbos irregulares, son tres filas de verbos que nos debemos conocer, porque los verbos irregulares no tienen una regla como los verbos regulares que nos dicen qué ponerles al final. Los verbos irregulares, la gran mayoría cambian totalmente su escritura, cambian cómo están escritos. Entonces, hay que sabérselos sí o sí para poder implementarlos. Están en presente simple, en pasado simple y en pasado participio, que es el pasado que se implementa en este presente perfecto. Entre más se pueden pasar esos verbos para saberlos, pues más largo se les va a convertir todos los procesos. Okay, so now I want to hear you speak a lot. I have a question for you. I have many questions for you. And this is the first. What is the best compliment you have ever received?
Mine will be that my hairstyle it's pretty. because I like it and I like when people tell me that. It, that short, it suits me.
All right. Thank you very much. Esther and Juan. Esther and Juan, are you here? I'm calling you, Esther. Don't you have to raise your hand? You have to speak. I'm waiting for you.
Well, last week my father told me I have a nice body.
Okay, thank you. If you can speak more clear, it's better because the sound is hard to understand.
Profe, es que no tengo mis audífonos, no los encontré, pero voy a tratar de hablar más alto. Well, my dad that this week told me I have a nice body.
Okay, thank you, Esther. Juan, what do you say? All right, let's go with the number two. What is the first movie you remember seeing?
I think mine was that one from Disney that had to be with Atlantis. I don't remember the full name. Like Expedition to Atlantis, something like that. But it was one of my favorites.
All right, thank you, Daniela.
Um, the first movie I remember seeing is Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. Nice. So when you go out and then you come back home, what is the first thing you do when you get home?
Change my clothes and wash my hands. Mostly because of COVID and then I relax in this I don't know, I relax in my bedroom.
All right.
I take off my shoes and sit on the sofa.
Thank you.
I shower my hands and I change my clothes and I try to play video games.
Play video games. Okay. What is one item that you can't leave home without?
I think my phone, I don't bring too many things when I'm going out. So mostly my phone if somebody calls me.
All right. What about you two guys?
Teacher, ¿cómo se dice billetera?
Wallet.
Okay. I, the item the I I can leave home is the wallet.
Esther, do you have an answer?
But
No, no, one. Good. Thank you for your answer.
okay.
I'm asking also to Esther, but I think she's not here. So the next question: what do you like about your home? What do you like about your home?
It's I like that it's very ¿cómo se dice? Comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that it's very comfortable. Though it's pretty small and sometimes it stresses me out because I spend a lot of time here, but I have too much too many memories in here and yeah.
All right. Thank you.
I like my room because it's my own space to share with myself or with me. I don't know.
I don't know. Me neither. Complex. This is very complex. Juan, do you have an answer for this?
I like the window because I like to see the persons, cars, and and the sun.
The sun. All right. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I think you already know that, but I am a night owl. I like I like to be awake very late in the night. And that's, ¿cómo se dice costumbre en inglés?
Costumbre. I'm used to.
And I'm already used to that, so it's not like I want to, but more like I have to because I can sleep before midnight.
All right. I'm still waiting for two more answers.
Teacher.
Yes.
Um, I am a night owl person
Yes.
because I like the moon, the cold climate, because I don't like the the hotels, the hot climate.
The whole climate.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. This is a nice question. I want to see it. What time do you usually get up in the morning?
It depends. Sometimes I get up from 9 to 10, but most of the time it's from 12 to 3 p.m.
From 12 to 3. Who else? One or Esther?
I usually get up at 7:30 a.m.
Yes.
and and sometimes at 9 p.m. 9 a.m. Excuse me.
Okay.
I usually wake up at 12 in the morning.
At 12
I love those.
in the morning. But 12 in
Sí.
the morning is in the night. 12 in the morning is in the night because the 12 in the day is 12 p.m., 12 afternoon. But all right, never mind. The next question is, what is the first thing you do when you open your eyes?
I think it will be watch my cell phone. Sometimes I just read comics until I feel like I want to get up of bed, or just answer some texts.
Hmm, all right. Esther and Juan.
And when I get up, I drink some water.
But the question is, the first thing you do when you open your eyes. But never mind, I'm not here.
And I check my my phone and I go to the bathroom and I try to organize my bed.
To make my bed.
Yes.
To make my bed. Okay. Do you usually remember your dreams in the morning?
I can remember them if I tell them to other person of or if I write them down. But most of the time I don't remember the majority of it.
What do you say, Juan or Esther?
I usually remember my dreams, but then I forget that.
Mm, sometimes yes, and another sometimes no.
And other times, not.
Other
All right. All right. All right. Let's speak a little bit. All right. This word is for stare. Esther, I want you to speak everything you know about this word, dolphins.
Em, Son delfines, si no estoy mal, ¿cierto?
¿Cómo?
Son delfines, si no estoy mal, ¿cierto?
Yes.
Está bien. Em, no sé qué decir sobre ellos.
All right.
They are so intelligent and um, no sé qué más decir.
There are many things to say. I think you know, but you don't want to.
Es que, a ver, yo no conozco mucho sobre delfines, así que no sé qué decir.
All right, never mind. Juan, can you please tell me about honey?
Honey is sweet.
Yes,
It's coming for the bees,
yes,
and it's very, ¿cómo se dice útil?
useful.
Yeah, it's very useful for medicine,
Medicine, yes,
and food.
and for food, yes. That's it.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Juan.
Okay, teacher.
Daniela, what can you tell me about clothes?
Well, it's something the humans have, ¿cómo se dice? Ponerse en pasado, worn,
Warm, yes.
have worn since a very long time to protect ourselves from heat, from cold, and to cover ourselves.
Right.
And they come in many forms, sizes, and colors,
Yeah.
and that's part of your personality.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Esther, what can you tell me about the telephone?
Okay. With the telephone, we can, mm, ¿cómo decirte comunicarnos? Se me fue la palabra.
What? Communicate.
Mhm. Uh, and we use the telephone all the time. Bueno, sí. Mm, we can see pictures, videos, and talk with our friends. And yeah, it's all.
All right. Thank you. Juan, about airport.
The airport from is uh, go to different countries. For example, United States, Alabama, Miami, and another Mexico.
Yes. What else? Don't close in just in the place. What else can you do in an airport? What can you find in an airport? What?
Uh, I don't understand.
What else can you tell me about the airport? Just the places, just places, solo esos lugares.
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
Shoo!
Salud. Daniela,
Thank
Hello.
what about laziness?
Um, well, that's the favorite activity for people like me. And it's about not doing anything, like just lay in bed and watch your cell phone, something like that, and avoid responsibilities too. Yeah.
And avoid.
Yes.
All right. So how come you are coming? Are becoming an entrepreneur?
I didn't understand.
How come are you going to? How are you going to become an entrepreneur?
I don't know. Sometimes I don't avoid responsibilities, so I don't know.
Esther, this is very easy. Limitless.
No sé exactamente qué significa la palabra.
Limitless. All right. That you don't have limits.
Ah, de límites.
But when you don't have limits,
Ah, está bien. Mm, no sé cómo explicarlo.
okay, but try. Try to explain it.
Mm, okay, when you don't have limits, you can do um, whatever you want. I don't know.
Try to do it.
Mm, no sé.
Don't even try.
¿Cómo?
Try. You have to try.
Okay. Um, you can to be I don't know whatever to want to be or como te dije to no es que no sé explicarlo muy bien.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. One. This is very easy. Chameleon.
Chameleon.
Yes.
It's a animal from the nature.
From nature, yes.
Change the colors
Yes.
and 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 like to eat mosquitoes and it's a animal like to get ¿cómo se dice trepar?
Climb
Climb the trebles,
the trees
the trees. Yes.
and the bushes. Yes.
That's
Yes.
it.
That's it. All right. Daniela, what do you know about plastic?
Okay. It's a common, um, ¿cómo se dice común?
Common.
Common thing that we use. It can be forks, it can be spoons, plates, bottles, and that's something dangerous at some point because it's highly, olvidé la palabra. ¿Cómo se dice contaminación en inglés?
Um, Pollution, pero pollution es otro tipo de contaminación. It contaminates, yes.
It contaminates a lot the ocean, so at that point it can be dangerous. Mm, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, pollution. Esther, this is very easy. Very, very easy. A castle.
Okay, it's a place when the royal family lives and have so many people. mm, ¿Cómo es que se dice atendiendo?
¿Cómo se dice que? Escucho muy claro.
Atendiendo.
Atendiendo.
No, atendiendo de atender.
Atender.
Ujú,
To attend.
ujú. Well, so many people attending at the royal family is a very big house, por así decirlo. Mm, y have so expensive things. Mm, and yeah, creo que todo.
Juan, what do you know about a sword?
Sword. Espada.
Yes.
A sword is a arm for
It's
for
a weapon.
the
It's a weapon.
ah, okay, it's a weapon.
Arm es el brazo.
Okay, it's a weapon for fight
Mhm.
and and it's very uh, it's usually for the uh the
Warriors.
yes,
The warriors.
the warriors fight with dragons.
Yes. Have you used a sword?
Yes.
You have used a sword.
uh, oh no, no, no.
No. Not even hold one.
mm,
Have you taken a sword in your hands? In your hands.
I
Have you
like it.
ever? Have you ever taken a sword? You.
uh,
You have. Have you ever
Me,
have? Yes. A sword in your hands.
no, never. I have a sword in my hands.
All right. Okay. Someday when the dragons come, You would have to use a sword. Anything else about swords, Juan?
No, teacher.
No. All right. Daniela, for you, what is fancy?
Like something pretty. I've heard in many um posts in social media that they use it like fancy someone, so I'm not really sure.
You're not really sure. Esther, what do you say about dolls?
Um, those the children play with dolls, and you can um, dress the dolls, I think, and play with them and to a house. Ya, Claudita.
All right. The last. Juan, what do you think about dancing?
Uh, Dancing it's a is the favorite moment with much persons, and because it's a it's a very active uh, for the parties and at the exercise, and enjoy it in December.
In December,
Yes.
what are you going to dance? This December or what?
And
Are you going to dance?
sometimes,
Sometimes.
yes.
All right. I hope yes. Daniela, tell me about ambition.
Mm. uh, well, I'm not very experienced. I have I don't have too much experience with that word. Um, but my dad had told me about it many times. Um, is the will that us humans have to overcome ourselves, overcome problems and different situations, and it help us reach our dreams.
Yes. Do you
And
have
that's
ambition?
no, I don't really have much ambition.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't like that kind of stuff.
But that is not a stuff.
I don't know how to describe it. I just don't like that.
Don't and don't. All right. Everything done. All right. Guys, tell me, why are you so down with this? Why is your attitude so low with this? With speaking, with practicing, with participating? Can you tell me about it?
I think I got distracted for a moment. But you ask, what did you ask?
If you can tell me why is your energy so low to these activities, for this class, for everything we are doing?
I don't know. I'm used to class with class with a lot more people, so I don't get to talk that much. I'm not used to talk that much because one I'm very shy. Two, and most of the time people talk and interrupt me, so I don't even try anymore. I think that's why.
Okay. Who else wants to tell me why? Why don't you want to speak? Why don't you want to do the things? And why are you not practicing either? Did I tell you about the activity for the last class?
What?
Did I tell you about the activity for the last class?
It's a page in the game from the present perfect and uh, what the present perfect and see a video. No,
For the conversation video?
yes, I think.
Yes. So I told you about it. Are you doing that activity? Yes. No. I think no. Okay, I remember, or I remind you that this, the next Wednesday is the last class. So be focused on the activities and practice, because we are going to speak a lot. Sorry. For the last class, it requires you to have all your cameras on. I don't mind if you just woke up, if you haven't get a shower or something. I don't mind. And you are going to be in the class. So I think that's it. For today, I think that's it. I have other activities, but I don't think you are in the whole disposition for doing things. So I think it's better not to force you to do things that you don't want to. And remember, remember doing that last activity and bring it on Wednesday. Bring it on Wednesday so we can have that last class for this year. Any questions? Any suggestions? Complaints? Questions?
No,
Comments?
teacher.
Opinions? Nothing. All right. Thank you, Juan. So for today, I think it's all, and hope to see you next class again. Last class. Enjoy your lives. Do whatever you want. And that's it. See you then.
Okay, teacher.
Okay.
See you then.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you for coming.
Goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye.
Bye, teacher.
Later, Juan.
Que tenga un lindo día.
You too. Have a
Have
great
a
night.
nice day.
You too, man. Later.